Yep, hot seat, mastermind style.
Awesome. So, should I start?
Yeah, you go for it.
So, last week I've been distracted, got sick a little bit, so slowed down on my calls and emails. But I got lucky. One person replied, and he immediately like, "Let's meet. Come to my office."
Nice.
Yeah. So I set up a meeting. I came to his office, and we spent about an hour and a half. He's very intelligent. He's very technical. He he used pretty much all the software out there, or most of the software, I would say, maybe 30 or 50%. And he's still not happy with his current choice. So he chose the best, and he's not happy with that. So that was very exciting for me and very like motivational. Like, okay, there are problems.
Nice.
Yes, and I've changed my approach from the ebooks. Uh, I've changed it to be less taxing on people's time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've used something like "oh reply," even if it's just one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I made it way shorter. So more like Carl's approach in the foundation material in the
Nice.
video. Yes, and I've got a lot of interesting responses, and they're pretty much saying the same thing: billing. So pretty much every attorney says billing, billing, billing is the number one issue, or number two or number three, but among those three things. So I'm starting to see some patterns, but I'm not sure if it's a, if it's not a problem, or if I'm not digging deeper, or if it's a problem that they just don't know there's a solution. They just kind of like amateurs. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
of the existing solution. So I don't know that yet, but I'm seeing something. So
Okay.
I don't know if it's a business or just maybe they need like a course on Udemy, like how to
Mm-hmm.
use existing software. So
Yeah.
yeah, it could also be a product, but probably not a software as a business. Yes, another issue is with existing case management software. So I found a very good blog that does a review of six existing cloud management software, and I'm planning to sign up for trials and just extensively spend a few days trying them out and playing, researching, and trying to see where they can be improved, or maybe I can build like a plugin on top of them, or on top of one of them to
Yeah.
solve some of the problems.
So you can maybe build on top on an API.
Exactly, yeah,
Okay.
something like Salesforce, for example, is a platform, but they allow other developers to build apps on their platform.
So what's your question for us that you want to kind of brainstorm a bit here?
So the question is maybe some tips on how to dig deeper.
Okay.
So my main concern is that, for example, the billing issue. It might they might say it's a problem, right? But maybe I'm not digging deeper enough, and maybe it's just a problem because of they don't have time to research it. So what I'm saying is like it's not a big enough problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it were a big enough problem, maybe there are solutions that they can just use right away. So maybe so what yeah, just I guess how to what are criteria is like or what are some tips how to go deeper
Mm-hmm.
conversations, how to do better idea extraction.
I have some ideas there, but I'm gonna let Ian or Amar give their input first. If you guys have something you want to say. Oh, Ian, we can't hear you for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, no.
It's yeah, completely silent right now.
We try putting some headphones in.
Still nothing.
Sometimes it's in settings.
Well, maybe try the Zoom one or something next time. Skype does suck. I agree. Um, well, Amar, do you have any input there you want to say?
Um, yeah, I mean, I would say the best way to get to the bottom of this is add in the question, what softwares have you previously tried, or have you previously like searched for a software solution to address this problem? If yes, what were they? And when they tell you what they are, you say, why didn't those work for you? And find out what the marketplace is missing, and then of course do your research into those like specific solutions. But if you ask every single one of the people that you're talking to that question, it'll immediately clarify, like kind of how to proceed. I don't know how that would be, but you get a lot more information by doing that.
Yeah, yes. I'm doing something similar. They say they've used QuickBooks, manual spreadsheets, and few other softwares.
So Ian says he hasn't. Oh, so yeah, okay. Ian says he hasn't had his real first IE call, so he would suggest reading the content basically either. So I have a question for you. Have you talked about these businesses' goals with them, like what their goals are?
No.
Okay, so I think that would be the biggest thing I would do right now to get deeper. I do agree that it may be not like a deep enough, like, because everyone in PT would say like, oh yeah, billing, I hate billing, blah blah blah, cool, like all the EMRs are doing billing, right?
Hmm.
Which is a great, which is, dude, they make so much money on billing, like these companies, because they charge a percentage of their whole revenue, right? So I mean, it's a really really good business. But But what I would say is if you want to dig deeper, like really dive into what their goals are, and when you do that, you can dive into the problems that they're facing not reaching those goals. So is it billing really that, say they want to grow their business, are they not reaching their business revenue goals because billing sucks? Or is there something deeper? There's probably something deeper there, right?
Yes, maybe they don't have enough clients.
Yeah, so that's probably going to come up, so dive into that, so the way we solve that is they do want to get more clients. So we solved that by addressing a measurement issue. Like, are they measuring their marketing? Like, that's a really, as any business needs to measure things, and it's very very important. Dan Kennedy preaches that all over the place. So that's how we're solving that issue. So I mean, yeah, I would really start digging deeper into their goals, and then figuring out why they're not hitting their goals and diving into that. That's where you're gonna get some really big gold nuggets, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Ask about goals.
Yeah.
So you're saying some might have the goal to expand, others might have goal to have more lifestyle balance and less work, less stress, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their goals are. I'm really aloof sometimes. What's the niche again? I totally forget. I shouldn't forget this, but
Divorce attorneys?
oh, divorce. Yes, divorce attorneys. Um, Yeah, I don't know what their goals are, but I mean, that's what you really want to do, because what you're doing there then is you're gapping them, right? So you're going to ask them first around like what their situation is, like what they're currently doing and all this different stuff, right? And then you're going to go into, well, what are your, cool, like what are your goals right now for your business? And they're going to be, basically they're saying where they are now, they're going to be like, well, this is what my goals are. So they're saying this is where I want to be. So there's this big like gap now they've created in their mind, and now you want to say, oh, okay, well, what are those problems in between that gap that are not allowing you to achieve those goals? So that's basically what you're doing. You dig into that part of it.
Mm, beautiful.
Yeah.
What to answer when someone says I don't have any problems?
Um,
Okay.
what do you say to that, Amar?
Um,
I laugh inside.
I mean, not just to answer, but how to spin it around and
Yeah, yeah.
how to dig deeper with them.
Um,
Uh, yeah, that's not an easy one. I mean, to be honest, I've found those people to be like very like closed-minded. So oftentimes, like I'll just kind of cut my losses when they say that. But like best way, I mean, Josh, you probably have better like good ways to go about like turning it around on them. I'd probably ask them about what their goals are. It's like if you don't have any
yeah,
problems, like where are you trying to be next year,
yeah.
or in like 5 years, or something like that, and dig like directly into like their hopes and dreams.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like with that, that's fine if they say that. Like it's then don't go negative, go positive. You know, 'cause what are your goals? And then so those people are probably like, well, I want to be here, here, and there. And then you want to say like, well, what? So what are the biggest things you need to implement now and change to get there? You know, it's to frame it in a positive way rather than challenges and problems and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Ian had a good point there too. Like you say, great, you know, can you discuss how you solve them? So yeah, that could be an idea. Um, you might want to first ask, did you ever have problems that you solved? You know, how did you solve them? It might just be a good conversation. I'm not sure where that would go, but that's definitely you know something you could say.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, one of the things that actually helped me out a lot when I was doing kind of like our early like IE sort of calls, like IE kind of with quotation marks, so we were already working on the product. But when this would come up, the big thing that I would ask is what tools are you using? Like what softwares do you use in your company to help you run it where you think you have no problems? And that gave us a lot of information about our competitors and who people thought was good and like stuff like that. So I don't know if that's the best way to turn it around and open up the conversation, but we found that we learned the most by approaching it that way.
Yeah, makes sense. Very good.
How many calls are you getting? Like how many emails are you doing a week right now?
I did about 100, emails and
Okay.
had 2 or 3 conversations,
Okay.
one with a person.
You know what we should do here as a team. What we're lacking, I had last year in the foundation. My foundation team is we need a document that where you guys write down what your goals were for the following week and what your goals are for the next week and just track them. Would that be something you guys want to do
Yeah.
as a team to track our goals?
Yes, we actually have Hayato and I. We have a spreadsheet
Oh, do you?
where we track our goals. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that one you want to add the rest of the team on, or do you think that we just do a big
If you
general
guys
team?
don't mind, yes, I can add. I can add maybe.
Okay. Hey,
I'll ask him.
Okay.
hey, man. Cool. So, yeah, that sounds good. I was just saying that we should have a document where we track our goals as a team, individually, and so and it sounds like you and Azad already have one. But anyhow, cool. Um, thanks. That help with everything?
Yeah, I think that's great tips. That's a great advice.
Cool.
I'll do them. I think I will ramp up my interview because I've started a new sequence with a bunch of new emails, so I'll
Cool.
have more prospects.
Cool, man. Ian, I want you to go, but this is gonna be hard. How about you just type in what your big wins were, if you have a big win for the last week, and then tell us what your challenges that you want to discuss, like the scruff. First positive response, awesome. So you're setting up a call with her. Nice. Nice. Biggest issue is getting the stuff done from last week. Values. Are you struggling to to are you struggling to write down what your values are? Get them written down and implement. What do you want to implement around your values? You just want to start tying, like, I probably know, but what do you want to implement around them? The daily patterning, yeah. Okay. Are you still like this isn't holding you up for like from sending emails or anything, is it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have maybe one or two of my values written down. Like I think doing the whole values thing is going to be like a isn't something you're going to just like all of a sudden have done. Like I think it's something that evolves. So I think at least for me, like that's something you can like be reviewing every morning, and then if another value pops into your head that you want to write down or you want to tweak a current value, I think that's awesome to do that. But I wouldn't put the pressure on yourself to have all your values sorted out right now. Would you agree with that, Amar?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. I think it's something that'll kind of become more clear as you go. You can't let that get in the way of action.
Yeah. No, it's tough. So, would you like some? Are you? Would you like some? How would you like some help around that now, or do you want to discuss more about that, Ian? Have you written down any of your values yet? Okay, you started your why. I think it's a great start, man. Like if you start your why, like this is something like this is really deep. I mean, and it's something that's going to keep evolving as you go through this. So I think that's a good start. And I mean, I think just what I would suggest is just being consistent every day of, going back to your values for like 10 minutes every morning. Just do that consistently and review what you currently have in your why. Maybe, if you can think of a value that comes out of that, write it down. Like just consistently put 10 minutes a morning on this, and over time it's going to gradually build and build and build. But I wouldn't put the pressure on yourself, be like, oh man, I'm not done this. Like, it's a really deep thing, right? So what's the problem? If you miss one day, that's not a problem. So what I would say, okay, yeah, you beat yourself up. Yeah, I get it. I do the same thing. So this is how I'd solve that. So have a note. Like I'll show you what I have. So and Amar has the same thing, but I have it. This is our notebook. It's a really small one. So have a notebook, and make it realistic. So like say that you want to. So I'll give you an example. Like I want to start developing disciplines into my life, right? So one current discipline I'm working on right now is reading for 20 minutes every day, because I never used to read. It was too big of a thing. I'm like, oh man, I want to read for an hour a day, and or I want to read a book, like, and just like, man, it's just too much to tackle for me because I don't have the mental mindset, the mental capacity to do that. So it just became too big of a thing. I just didn't read a lot, but I want to start reading consistently, and the reason is because I believe it'll make a better business. It's going to make me more successful. Like it ties into a lot of things I want. So how I track that, I have like habits and disciplines to add to my life there, and I'll just like continue to build that list of the habits I want. But I'm not going to tackle everything at once. I'm just tackling the reading right now, and the key to it all is number one, set a like realistic, like not overwhelming goal. So it's not like I'm going to say I'm going to read 7 days a week for 20 minutes. I'm going to say I want to read for 20 minutes at least a day for 3 times a week. So that's my goal. So that's very doable for me. It's not like, oh man, I got to do 5 days a week. That would be kind of stressful, or 7 would be stressful. So then what I do is at the end of every day, write down if you did it or not. Just track it, right? So October 9th, 17 minutes. October 10th, no. October 11th, no. October 12th, yes. October 13th, 20 plus minutes. October 14th, no. 15th, no. 16th, 20 plus minutes. So, and I tracked it. Then in 7 days there, I had 2 of 7. So I have a sad face. So I didn't make it. But still, I'm happy because I tracked it and I did 2 of 7. That's better than nothing. But now next week, I want to. Now I'm motivated because I did 2 of 7. Now I want to do 3 of 7 this week. So just that give you an idea of like how to like, so you can do that with, if you want to review your values every morning, say 3 days a week and track it. And if you don't do it, then aim for it next week and until it becomes a habit. So probably 3 weeks of this and then move on to another habit to tackle. That's the key to like, yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book. Cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about there? Or does anyone else have anything to add to that? Yeah, I'm just starting this stuff, and it's like one of the most like, I think one of the best things I've decided to start doing is tracking my habits and what I want to add to my life. It's really important.
Started doing the same thing with my spending. That after reading the compound effect that you gave me in Austin, Josh.
Yep.
That I immediately like stopped like eating out for lunch like ever and stuff, and I'm like I mean like I just in San Francisco it runs you $12-13
Yeah.
for like lunch at like a food truck. It's insane. And so I started like grabbing meals from home and stuff, and all I started doing was just tracking it in the notebook, and it's like, yeah, it's made like an immediate difference, and it's almost a habit, not just yet. I need to do it for another week or so, but yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, The Compound Effect's a great book if you guys haven't read that. I'm like halfway through it, and all of our Sterling members have it now that were in Austin. So it's a good book that's like foundational principles like this that just blew my mind. Cool. So Quincy or Hayato? Do you want to go, Hayato? Just let us know what's your a win you had this last week, and maybe any updates you have, and then just anything you want to discuss, like a challenge or something that you want to talk about.
First of all, the win was that the emails from last week turned into a good set of warm IE calls this week. So I had 6
Nice.
over the past week since our last call.
Nice.
And many of them actually turned out to be good hour-long conversations with owners who have good understanding for how their business operates. And so that was a win. That was a win.
Awesome, man.
There are people that are willing to talk. You never know until you actually experience it yourself, I suppose. And but then quickly as an update, moving on to the next section, the wall that I'm already hitting is that I really need to hone my interview skills, I guess, because so many of the people who are owners in this business tend to be older, 50, 60, 70, and they've been doing the same thing for 30, 40, 50 years, and they think it's fine. And some of them are actually innovative enough to actually already make the spend on certain technological products that are out there that make certain aspects efficient. So I get kind of this extreme dichotomy here where like the 75-year-old owner the other day told me that she's been paperless since 99, which is way ahead of the industry. But then you get the other 45-year-old owner who does everything in paper and thinks it's just fine. So how do I critically interview these people so that the technologically advanced grandma, I can still poke at her weak spots if there are any, and then gently nudge the younger guy who still feels like he has something to prove and doesn't want to be shameful about not pursuing other technological products, that it's still okay to talk about certain inefficiencies. So that's something I need to work on, and I think that'll come with feeling out the kind of people that I end up talking to.
Hmm.
But that's something I need to work on, and probably going on the IE extraction whole samples that we have and the coursework and stuff. Going back to that, since I haven't seen it in a couple weeks, will probably be helpful, because I was so busy getting the emails out and then actually jumping on calls that pretty fuzzy on the memory for what I had learned in the coursework. So that's something I definitely need to work on this coming week, so that kind of back to the foundation, pun intended, for where at least our coursework is starting us go in doing idea extraction. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool, man. Thanks for update. Congrats on the calls first. That's really good.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I gotta get going here in just
Okay.
a minute. I wanted to give some feedback just
Sure.
on this, like, before I do.
Sure.
But what I would keep an eye out is, it sounds like you've got two, like, your market sounds very, very similar to the one that I'm in with maid services. That you've got
Okay.
lots of much older folk that are running these things. They've done things the same way for years, maybe not as long as you're talking about. I mean, 5, 10 years. A lot of them are not looking for a big change, and then you get some that are more technologically savvy. They've already looked for different solutions, and those are often the ones that we're actually able to sell, the ones that have looked for solutions but haven't found it. So what I would do is, IE content, when you're talking to them, essentially consider them two separate groups. Because if you recognize that the ones that aren't using technology, that for whatever reason they're open to being sold, or they're just looking for something that's like this easy to use and can do these basic functionalities, then maybe you have something there. But that product's not going to compete with, the other side of the market that's already found software solutions. And so what I would do is, if you can, just do the best IE that you can on both, but try considering them separate markets and see if that changes, like, the product that kind of shapes in your head. So, like,
That's cool.
yeah, for us, for example, we focus on the ones that have solutions now. We started out by focusing on the ones that didn't, and we sold them, and they were the ones that were easy to sell in the beginning, that were using Excel or paper or whatever. And now what we're doing is, now that we're developed a little bit further, now we're trying to pitch ourselves as like the marketing software, and we're for the people that are already using technology, the ones that are going to be willing to pay more money and all of that. But we had to essentially, just cut it down the middle of, like, it's two different markets that are looking for two completely different things.
Yeah, that's really good thoughts, man. Yeah, I'll try that this coming week. Thanks so much.
That's really good, man. Yeah, well, the other thing I'd say is, I don't know what the industry's like, but it sounds like those people that are probably saying they do this and it works for me. They don't need anything different. Like, are more like the mom and pop people, maybe. Like, if there's a way you can start, like, segmenting your list with, like, the bigger businesses compared to the small mom and pop shops, so you're probably going to find that probably, like, right what, like, Amar said, maybe the divide's going to be the bigger businesses are actually using technology and the mom and pop ones aren't. So I'm going to at some point start in my outbound efforts, start segmenting my list and approaching different sizes of businesses different with our outbound approach.
Okay.
And how I do that is easy. I don't know how you do with yours, but I mean, we just look at number of locations, right, on their website.
Right.
CMR.
There, guys.
Okay. What does FTW mean again? I never know. Okay. One of my friends convinced their moms that WTF meant, well, that's fantastic. Her friends saying they're one of their friends' moms was like that, and she's like, oh, WTF, guys. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know how you would do that with yours, but if there's a way, like, when you actually gather your emails, that you can predict which ones are bigger businesses. have a hunch maybe that those ones are the ones that will be more of your market.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Cool.
Yeah. So pay attention to that, and you can start, playing around with that and talking to the people you want to talk to.
Right, right.
Yeah, Zad. It's all about profiling. I mean, that's um, uh, like Ian pointed out there. Aaron Ross. I mean, he's big on that in that book. Really prospecting the right people that you want to talk to is important.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just figuring this out, right? So it's good that you're having these little roadblocks. So you can start figuring those things out.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Quincy, you're the next up here.
Okay, I just realized tonight we're all gentlemen here. So, yeah, I missed the last week's call. But this week I would like to give everybody an update how I am doing.
Mhm.
So, actually, the good thing is I have decided to the niche I'm going into would be related to the business that I'm running right now. The reason being, for the e-commerce business that I'm in, one thing is I realized I have joined multiple Facebook groups, and then totaling about a few thousand people, members. And because of the nature of the business, I need to be in the community. And throughout the community, you learn, you ask questions, right? So I'm able to tell who are more experienced and who are the leaders who know what they're doing, which I learned from. And in the niche that I'm working in, there are tools just exactly like the SaaS tool we've been using, and we all know the pros and cons of those tools. So since I'm already in that business, and per the foundation, the requirement to look for the niche, potential niche, and the niche that I'm in actually fit that bill. So I going into since I'm already do the business, so I know the people, and actually I can get past um, the barrier to look for a potential niche and then identify who are the major players can give me the most valid uh, um, comments about the pains and challenges in that specific business. And on top of that, I know it myself because I'm doing it myself. Um, from that perspective, actually, if someone come up to me, any of you come up to me to ask me the pain point or challenges as a e-commerce business owner, what what how you can develop a tool for me to automate my business, make cut my times in half, whatever. I would love to talk to you. So I'm in the same situation to talk to the same group of people who are doing the same business with me. And in fact, I was late today because I was doing an idea extraction with one of the people I identify as the top 50 I want to talk to. So he's open. He know where I'm coming from. He know that I'm not just a brand new person, know nothing about their business. Whatever I say, they understand, and I'll approach them saying that, okay, here's my challenge. What would be yours? He's just so warmed up and just start talking. In fact, I talked to two people today for the idea extraction,
Nice.
and it just not only I learn from them, I also give them a sense that I really want to help them. So next week I'm going to have another round of call with the same people, and plus additional one that are already identified. So I think that's a big win in that sense. Um, the um, the thing along with that, the thing that came across my mind would be if I have a product for this specific niche. I was thinking, oh, okay, a monthly I can develop a product, charge people like a what $70 to $100 a month, right? all the tools, SaaS tool that I'm using in this niche business, it's like from $30 to $50. So my question is it kind of a pretty low monthly cost for you know for a SaaS product, or it doesn't really matter as long as if I say I have 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 times say $30 a month, that's 30 grand a month, right? So I figured that's not bad, isn't it?
Was how many people are in the niche?
Um, right now, just the member alone, what got like 3,000, and the number is increasing because the new member are coming in, and that's I'm not counting those um, not within the five groups that I'm subscribing to on Facebook. I know there are other groups that the people from within the same business they subscribe to. So I don't have the exact number, but
How how big of a solution is it? How much do you think it would cost to make if the solution you have in mind?
actually that's something you mean to develop the product.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually I don't know because the right now I'm so busy focused on doing the finding the pain point idea extraction.
Oh, you don't have you don't have one that you want to do yet, then.
I actually I do I have multiple ones.
Okay.
I want to narrow down to which one is more beneficial to the folks in this business first.
So my thoughts are that $30 to $50 a month is really low for a SaaS. I wouldn't really want to play in that range, but
I see.
because it's a low monthly and you need a lot of users, right? But what I'm alluding to there is asking those questions is that you could play there, and one way I would play there is if it's like a really easy software like SaaS to build. It's an easy product. It's not going to cost much. It's not going to cost much to maintain it. Maybe it's a really good lifestyle business. You can just create, as one business and go do something different. So in that case, I mean, unless like that might be a really good idea to do that. And if there's a decent enough market, like 3,000 is not very many. I don't know how many you can get out of that. I mean, think if you get 5% of that. So if you get 5% of 3,000 on your product. That's 150 users times $50 a month. That's $7,500 a month. So that's not. I mean, and if you have other groups get more. Like, I mean, if you could get to 10 grand a month and it's a really like simple product, then, go for it. But if it's like this big, huge system and all this stuff and needs integrations and all these things, like it might not be worth it. If it's going to be 30 or $50 a month and not very many people. So you just got to weigh out those options.
So what consider a mid-range development cost? We're looking at 5,000 or 10. Grand?
Okay, so Clinic Rise is costing us like 25,000 to develop the MVP, just the minimum version of it. But that's a big system. My Sky cost me a lot more than that. You could get an MVP developed for 5 to 10 grand if it's a really small thing. I don't know. It depends like if it's a simple WordPress site and like some stuff. I mean, like I don't know. There's a lot of simple solutions out there, right? It really depends what it is. And I'm not really the person. I'm not a tech guy, so I mean, I would ask someone more like Azad or like once you have a solution or someone else in the foundation, just to get a rough estimate of like what they think a range might be on it. Someone that knows development and can just kind of ballpark it. Or at least if they can say, yeah, that's a really big problem to solve, or like a big solution to build, or if they say, oh yeah, it's pretty simple and like it's not going to take much. You just got to kind of get a feel for that.
Actually, I want to throw it out, talk to all of you. From my experience, I started small. I started a candy vending business, which give me right now I can get around $800 a month consistently. And based on that, I venture on to a second business, which is the e-commerce business. Right now, I'm moving on to $1,500 a month. So you can imagine now I have $2,300 a month from those two businesses.
Cool.
And now on top of this is the third one, the foundation. You can, the more I do it, the more I feel this way. See what you think. I think it's critical for me to go through the foundation, the whole course, from idea extraction all the way through have a product and then have subscribers and have to generate a monthly income. Because the way I see it, it's not the end of the foundation. That's the beginning for my journey in the business world. I can go through it and say, for example, I get $50 a month monthly fee. I get 100 subscribers. So that's $5,000, right? So the true ROI probably half of it, say 2,500. So 2,500 plus the 2,300 I already have. That's 5,000 a month on top of my regular full-time job. So based on that experience learned from going through the whole course of the foundation, I can move on to develop in a bigger scale another SaaS solution. But this time around, it will be in the 100 and 200. But at that point, since I already been through the whole course of the foundation, I know what it takes. So the next time around, I develop a second SaaS product, I'll be more experienced and also with more financial support. Even jump beyond, for example, because I know the pre-sale is very important. Because if I don't have any capital, then I need to go through the pre-sale to generate the capital to develop the software. If I do not have that obstacle, I can have it removed. I already have the funding to do the development. But I agree totally that the pre-sale, why it's so critical, not just the money, it is the test to see how serious, how truly painful the thing are to the people I'm trying to help with, right? So my idea, I throw it out, is that it's go through the whole course of the foundation, regardless how much the monthly fee is, say 50 or 100 or 200. When we go through that, that's a big success, because that's not the end of the whole story. We can always have the second SaaS product, which can build on and develop, make it better. So Josh, actually your experience is very valuable to me, because initially your first product actually didn't work out very well, but you didn't give up. Now using that experience, you're building a better one right now, right? So I can see that it's a bigger picture, which is as a group together, maybe that within the 6 months we stick together so tightly, we get something really everybody go through one. I have one thing, but I'm looking beyond 6 months. We're looking for everybody to generate, not just one, but 2 or 3, right? Like what ultimately, like Dane, 5 or 6. So I think that's my kind of, as I move on with foundation, I can't forget to develop gradually the way to see things. I know foundation itself is evolving also. So I just want to throw it out. What do you guys think?
I think it's a really good actually point you made. That I think it's great. I mean, this is whatever you build this foundation on. It's a great experience, and it's not going to be the end. That's totally true. And it could you could build a SaaS product like me, and it doesn't work out the first time. There's a lot of mistakes you made. Then it's about your grit level and your determination level. Do you want to go at it again and make it successful? And that's a really good point. And then you have all the experience, so you're gonna learn something. So I think that's a great way of looking. So now going back to your question and challenge, I mean, like, if there's a challenge here and it's a really low monthly fee one, I mean, like, if you're looking at it that way, like where like you just want to build something, test it out, see if it works, and if it works, great, and get all experience, and you're gonna make a little bit of money at it. Maybe if it's a low monthly, like, that's a great way of looking at it, because you're gonna do more. You're definitely gonna do more. So I think that's a good point, man. I definitely would align with that. This is not gonna be any of your guys' end games. Like, you're gonna do more stuff. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get the entrepreneur bug, and you're gonna build. I mean, look at me. I did another SaaS business, but I didn't stop there. Now I did Sterling Assembly. Like, I mean, you're gonna keep doing things. It's not your end games. You don't have to have the perfect thing.
because the little money I earn actually it serves as a motivation for me to
Mm-hmm.
move on, because I'm making like what we said is every day you're doing something, right? The success is
Hmm.
accumulation of the small steps. So the small money I earn every day actually is a motivation
Mm-hmm.
to me to move on with the foundation. So that's kind of a unique experience. So I last week I saw the a puja, the pre-sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we actually talk about sit down with Kyle. We sit down in the Fremont in the coffee shop, talk about her dreams, her progress. So that's something that she didn't have at the beginning, but as things evolve, her circumstance kind of learn from the foundation, apply the principle the next 6 weeks for the boot
Mm-hmm.
camp.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of not exactly the SaaS solution as Megan said, but this something along the side come up, right? So something unexpected along our journey on the foundation will come up along the way. So I think that's in that sense. I think it's great. But I just think, oh, okay, now 5 weeks focus on the boot camp. Probably, I mean, it's like me still have to automate all my business. So that's really kind of really have to stay focused, not being sidetracked totally.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. I really appreciate the point. So I want to leave you guys with two things. Did you have does that kind of answer your question though you had there, Quincy?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I want to leave you guys with two things. First off, I can't wait till you guys get to pre-sales because that's where I can really help you guys. Um, I can help you guys. I can help you guys sell like crazy, and I'm excited to get there with you guys. Secondly, I want to. I was gonna have him come on tonight, but he couldn't. I'll maybe have him come on another night. But so my business career started in college, pro painters. So I ran a painting company while I was in university and had a lot of success there and learned a lot. It was basically like you get kind of like this, just brick and mortar. Like you get thrown into like here's the branding. Go start a business. Like go cold call and get leads and go sell those customers on painting. Go hire your painting team and paint those houses. Like it was craziest thing ever. So that my last year I ended up doing like 172 projects in one summer, and we did like $400,000 worth of painting while I was going to university in that last year. It was really cool, like just learning. But I made a lot of really good friends there in College Pro. Actually, Aaron Ross was a College Pro guy. We chatted about that. It was pretty cool. He was in Palo Alto. He did a franchise, and one of my friends is with other night. He actually was a general manager for like 3 years, meaning that he ran like basically he coached and led like 20 franchisees, which I was. So he helped these guys grow their businesses. And the average franchisee, like 18 to 20-year-old, maybe a bit older, some of them, but there's a lot. There's just people from like 18 to like mid to late 20s in there. They do around 100 or probably $80,000 their first year in revenue, and then so they're successful. And I think the average makes like 15K the first year, so it's a really cool system. But what he was saying, and I'm trying to instill what I tell these I used to tell a lot of franchisees into you guys is like this is going to be hard, and you need to like grit and grind through it. And he actually told me something like he's not a GM anymore, he's doing something different, but he said he was in the car with a new franchisee, and this guy asked a really good question. He's like, so like Igor, like what differentiates the really successful franchisees in College Pro and the not so successful ones? I want to know that. And Igor said something really interesting to me what he told this guy, and he's like, you know what? The ones that are really successful know what they're willing to suffer through to make it work. They know that when it gets down to it, they're willing to suffer this much in order for it to work. And I was like, wow, that's a really, really cool, interesting point, like almost masochistic or whatever, how you say that. But it's so true. Like, what are you willing to suffer to get to your goal? Like, are you willing to like, work yourself to exhaustion at some points to get there. Like I've done that multiple times. I'm like in that cycle all the time. I go like I work and burn out and then I relax, and I mean it's not a good cycle. But like, what are you? But like the point is like, what are you willing to give up or suffer through to get to your goal? Because it's to get to something spectacular like running an online business and having a whatever your ultimate goal is with the business, you're gonna have to give something up for that. It's not gonna come easy, and if it does, there's going to be a point where it's going to be hard. It's just what it is. So that I just want to give that to you guys, what he told me last night, and just again, as much as I can instill into you guys, like I want this team to like be a grinding team, like one that grits it out and grinds through it, because those are the people that are going to be successful at the end of the foundation, the ones that are willing to put in that work. The ones that think it's going to be easy, I don't think they're going to be successful, because it's not going to be easy. So I just want to give that to you. It was from him, and it really kind of hit me last night. And I'm going to have him come join us at some point in a talk. And if there's anyone, and on that note too, if there's anyone else that you guys want to have as a guest on our team calls, let me know. I can go through my network and get more people. I mean, Carl, Dane, Caleb, I don't know, whoever you guys want, but just let me know.
Thanks.
Anyways, hopefully does that mean anything to you guys, or strike a chord at all?
Very inspirational.
Cool.
So
Cool.
Josh, I got a question.
Sure.
I can't wait to get to the pre-sale. But the thing is, after I talked to so many, it's a numbers game. I talked to all the people. Remembering saying that you make like a 40 to 50 quality idea extraction call. So you nail down to the specific thing that you can develop the product for.
Mm-hmm.
Is it at that moment you start the pre-selling, or I want to kind of see, even though I'm going through like a first 30, now I need to get some idea what the pre-sales is about.
You got to read by pre-selling content.
I don't get to that point. I actually kind of jump over to the software development part.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to fill this all in your brain right now. You don't need it right now, but just as a general overview, yeah. So basically what you're going to be doing is once you when you do enough of those calls and you kind of get an idea for what different challenges there are, you're going to, you want to rank those challenges and see which one you actually want to tackle and solve, right? So first thing is to pick that one. And then you're going to basically go back to those people after you have like a mock-up done. So you want to have a mock-up done and you want to just get their feedback. So that's how you start the pre-selling process, is going back to those people you've talked to and getting their feedback on the solution that you've now mocked up, that's solving the pain that they said they had. So you're just starting to involve them in the process. That's how you start pre-selling. And then there's a lot more to it after that, but that's how you're going to start pre-selling. Involve them. They love being involved in it. So think about it. If you're a business owner and someone came back like, hey, like this is your challenge. Look at what I made. Look at what I like kind of mocked up. What do you think of it? Like that's pretty awesome.
Would it be more effective if you have the presenting your mock-up, the drawing or actual, whatever the presentation is? Where's that? Okay. So it would be good if we can do it. Two people sit down face to face. I can show my mock-up, right? So that actually, Pooja, Kyle, and myself, when we sat down 2 weeks ago in a coffee shop, we talk about the way we try to find the right person to talk to. Then we do a bunch of emailing. We hire the BA, send out email, and then hopefully that somebody will respond and willing to talk to us. So I brought it up saying that, okay, say at the point of a pre-sale, if I have a chance to sit down face to face with the person who wants to buy into my product, it would be doing face to face instead of over Skype. Or
Absolutely. If you have the chance to do that, go for it. It's not really the reality for most people. I wasn't able to do that. I was in Canada. They were all in the U.S. So if that is if you were able to do that, yeah, absolutely. But you won't be able to do that for all of them, I wouldn't assume.
Oh, I see.
Unless you get referrals from that one person that's all in your area.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Cool, guys. I'm going to let you guys go since it's overtime here and you guys all have lives. So It's awesome chatting with you. I'm down in San Diego right now, so if any of you guys wants to come down, I'm here for a
Nice.
week. I'm here until Thursday, and I'm gone.
Where in San Diego?
Encinitas. So I'm staying at Caleb's house right now, and Dane and Carl are like 5 minutes away. I might be there for a bit too, so I'm kind of around where they all live.
Nice. So checking out the place you're going to move into?
Maybe, yeah. I'm gonna stay in Vancouver for a bit, but Chandler and Caleb are pushing hard for me to come down here, so we'll see. I gotta get visa stuff sorted out.
All right. That's all
It's
cool.
hard for me. I'm a Canadian. How far is everyone away from here again?
I
An
mean,
hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Yeah. Is that you're in? Where are you again?
Hopefully.
Oh, you're San Francisco. Yeah, you're way far away.
Ian.
Ian, 20.
3 months.
Ian, I'm gonna be close to you pretty soon too.
That's right, you're going to Maui, huh?
You can swim over or boat over, whatever you want. Getting your dolphin. You guys have dolphins out there, right?
Yeah,
Going try. Oh man, Toronto's like 5,000-6,000 kilometers away from Vancouver. It's like a 5-hour plane ride. Canada's not small, even though Americans think that. Oh, I'm going to Canada. Are you gonna come meet me? I'm in Quebec. Oh, okay. In November, yeah, it's probably gonna be. It might be cold out there actually, and the East Coast gets really cold. So, cool guys. Well, I know you guys are all far away, but if for some reason you guys do end up coming down, let me know. I'm gonna be here for a week.
Cool.
We'll go out for a surf or something like that.
Yeah. You're better this weekend. It's supposed to be good.
Yeah, Carl's gonna be back tomorrow, so I'm sure we're gonna head to the beach and do some surfing. It's kind of his thing.
Work all the time.
What's that?
Don't work all the time. That's
Yeah, I'm slowly getting to vacation mode here. In Hawaii, I'm gonna completely shut off, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm leaving for Hawaii on the 23rd, and I'll be there till either the 3rd to the 9th. I'm not sure yet. I might leave a bit early for a conference, but I'm gonna be there for till early November sometime. Cool, guys. Ian, we'll talk to you next time with when we can hear you. Canapali, yeah. I'm gonna be in Canapali.
Man.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
You
Cool.
know, you can do all this kind of cool stuff. I can no longer do that.
What do you mean no longer? You will.
Well,
in
at least with
future.
the kids and family, when you have to really struggle.
There's
very
perks
hard.
to both. There's perks. I'm really wishing I had a girlfriend right now, but there's also perks. I get to do what I want,
Exactly.
but then there's no one that can tell me how good I'm doing and comfort me when I'm sad.
That's how humans are, man.
Is that the
Once
sass
you're on
part
the
of
other
what you
side,
said?
you always think the other side is better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And all this pressure from my family. My mom wants grandkids, so.
Nice.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Okay, see you later, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
I'll upload this, probably put it on YouTube or something like that and give you guys a link. I'll just load it right now.
Oh, awesome.
Because I think people want the recording. Okay, sounds good, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Okay, good night, everybody.